Rachel, they say to protect yourself at all times, but did you know?
Okay.
Hey guys, it's your best boxing friends. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. I was thinking today about the big fight this weekend, and as you know, there's always a bunch of fights on every weekend now that there's all these different channels that show boxing.
Yeah.
But to me, the biggest fight this weekend, you've got three basic main events. You've got Vasyl Lomachenko on Friday, April 12th, is fighting Anthony Crolla. You've got Christina Hammer fighting Claressa Shields on Saturday, and then Jaime Munguia fighting Dennis Hogan, all on different networks. Anyway, the biggest fight to me out of all those fights is Claressa Shields versus Christina Hammer. How right am I, Rachel? Tell me how right I am.
This is a really big fight in women's boxing. They're unifying belts in that weight class, and yeah, they have all the, so that's always a big fight.
I'm gonna give you some fast facts. Ready?
Okay, let's go.
First of all, did you know that this is the first time in the history of the women's division that the winner will be given a Ring Magazine championship belt in any weight class? Did you know that?
That's pretty amazing.
Second fast fact, fast! This is the first time in the history of the women's middleweight division that there's going to be an undisputed champion.
Mm-hmm.
As an aside, do you know who the first undisputed champion of any weight class is? Cecilia Brækhus, the undisputed welterweight champion. She's welterweight champion right now. Here's another fast fact. Out of the three main events this weekend, which again are Lomachenko Crolla, Munguia Hogan, and Shileds-Hammer, Shileds-Hammer is the one that has the closest odds for the bookmakers. It's the most competitive fight on paper of the main events.
Okay, so Loma and Munguia are big favorites.
They're huge favorites.
And then Hammer Shields, like we've talked about it before, and I can't really. Early on, I thought, oh, Claressa just runs through Hammer. But I don't know anymore. I think I've heard so many people have a different opinion that, like, I'm like, well, maybe I'm just wrong about it. I think that Hammer doesn't have enough strength to withstand the force of nature that is Shields. And I don't know. I think that Claressa could walk through all of Hammer's punches. I might be completely wrong on both accounts.
I think Claressa has the ability that the best Claressa Shields could perhaps run right through Christina Hammer. The problem is that we haven't seen the best Claressa. We're projecting when we say that. The best, what we've seen from Claressa so far as a professional is that she doesn't just run right through people, right? She has got a very low number of knockouts. Hammer's taller than her, and I think physically large enough to where, and a good enough boxer, I think her punches are going to have an effect on Claressa. And Claressa tends to not move her head as much as maybe she should. And so I think she's going to be right there for the jab, cross, and maybe an uppercut because Claressa's going to have to come forward.
Yeah, and when I saw their press conference, Hammer didn't look as thin as what she had looked when I had seen her in a previous televised fight.
Yeah.
So maybe things were different for that fight. Maybe her lifestyle was different. I don't know. Maybe she's coming off a modeling thing. I don't know how her life is structured. But she looked thicker in the press conference that I saw with Shields.
Yeah, I've been really excited about this fight since we first learned about Christina Hammer. I heard the name before, but didn't really know a lot about her until they started hyping this fight, which was over a year ago. We started talking about this fight. And when I saw clips of her fight, she's undefeated as a professional. I think she's a really good women's boxer, and I think that she's on paper the best fighter that Claressa Shields will have ever faced. The other fighter that I think would go up there with her is Hannah Gabriel, and she was smaller than Claressa, right? She was moving up in weight to fight Claressa.
Yeah.
Christina Hammer is bigger than Claressa, at least taller, and looks like she reminds me a lot. I don't say this a lot. She reminds me of Vladimir Klitschko in that she fights in a very basic way, but it's very effective, and she's a really good athlete as far as being tall and having long arms and being in shape.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm excited to see the fight.
Yes, I am too. I'm excited because of the different fight styles that both of these women bring to the ring. I would have hoped that the promotion leading up to the fight, maybe if there was a little more maturity involved. Like,
Yeah.
it hasn't been great, and like as a woman, I find that a little bit disappointing. It's like a low level version of like Paulie and Broner.
It's not quite Paulie and Broner, but it's not
I
what
said
you want. It's
low
like
level version.
it's more like Mayweather and like Berto, like I don't know, somebody in between.
I feel
You
like it's
can't
low
throw.
level Paulie and Broner because like there are some things that have been said, and I don't even follow all of it because I really don't want my interest in the fight to be like.
Yeah.
I want to be excited Saturday and not like disappointed. Um, but even the very little that I've seen, like some of the stuff is like pretty like inappropriate and yeah. So that's disappointing just as a woman.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I saw Claressa was talking on Twitter the other day about how she had accomplished more than Ronda Rousey. Not popular. You ain't done that yet, Claressa. Ronda Rousey brought in like millions and millions of dollars and huge hordes of viewership to the UFC. So you're not there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, somebody was like, "Well, somebody should take Claressa's Twitter away," and basically because that's dumb. And that, but no, I think that Claressa should just be Claressa, and Claressa should grow and
Yeah,
learn.
she has a right to grow and
Because people
learn.
like authentic things, and even though that Christina Hammer and Claressa Shields are maybe not, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed in how they talk to each other as well. They're talking about swimsuits and like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
just like
dumb and a little bit catty, if you will. Is that
Yeah.
something I can say? Catty? Is that a word?
yeah, I think like that's
It's
an
dumb.
easy way to quickly explain.
It's
like,
the lowest
some of the
hanging
stuff
fruit.
that's going on.
It's immature.
And
But
as if women don't have like this enough to deal with. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, and I get like anyway, it's dumb. But at the same time, I am interested in the fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. Just because on paper I think they match up interesting. Another thing to note is that women's boxing is 2-minute rounds, and I think when I see this play out in fights, I think that goes in Christina Hammer's favor because Hammer has to fight a more perfect fight because she's not as physically overwhelming as Claressa can be. And it's easier to do that for 2 minutes and 3 minutes.
yeah.
And it's easier over a course
And
of
if you're
12
trying
rounds to do
to-
it 24 minutes
Yeah.
instead of 36 minutes.
And if you're the opponent that's trying to wear the other opponent down by
Yeah,
sheer force,
less time.
you have less time to do that.
So I don't know. It should be interesting. I think the fight's going to be closer than people expect. I know that some people think Claressa might run through her. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think even you might see a fight where you're not quite sure who won on your card, but maybe the judges score it a little more widely than you'd expect for Shields, and that's because Shields is the money fighter. I think it's going to be a great learning experience for her. I think she's on her way to greatness. And who knows? We might get to see someday. I was thinking, like, how about Cecilia Brækhus moving up from 147 to fight Claressa, let's say at a catchweight of 154. I would love that. That would be a huge fight. Undisputed versus undisputed for all the marbles. I don't know how many marbles there are in women's boxing, but they could have all of them.
How do we get Katie Taylor involved?
Katie's going to have to start going to eat some food. Katie is too small. Katie's probably the best fighter of any women's boxer I've ever seen.
Yeah, Katie. Not only that, Katie's better than like
a lot of men
a
fighters.
lot
I've
of
seen.
male fighters too.
Yeah, and
so
that's
like she
amazing
is just
to me.
like
She's amazing.
yeah, it's crazy.
Like you can tell the hard work that she's put in, just hours and hours and hours of work, and how seriously she takes her craft. And Katie Taylor is probably going to be the Ronda Rousey of women's boxing if we have one. We might not have a Ronda Rousey for another decade or so.
Yeah, it might be somebody totally new.
Taylor's that good, and she seems to like attract a lot of ardor from people. People love her, and I don't really get the sense of that with Claressa. I love Claressa Shields. We love Claressa Shields, and that might change. Maybe she's on her way to changing the game. You know how you can be on your way to changing the game? You can like, comment, subscribe, sneak onto your you have parents or children, or if you've got friends, if you've got neighbors, sneak in their house and then do that for them. We want to grow into basically the most important thing in the world. And I don't mean it on YouTube, and I don't mean just in boxing. I mean in the entire world. Do you understand what I'm saying? We want to be your leaders, your guides, your gurus, if you will. And we can only do that if you listen and obey to every command. Do it now.